Okay, I think. Yeah. Okay, we started. Go ahead. Go ahead. Head us off. Go ahead.
What is up? Uh, Sup? It is um, um, the after show.
Yes. The 21. Episode 21.
Episode 20,
The
21.
yes. Since I'm on a different setup, the viewers are well. The viewers are only seeing.
Yes, you're you're hearing. What we're hearing is that yes. So apparently, Alan's computer got busted.
Yes.
It got fucking. He got busted for chop. No, but really, his computer just went off. I I don't know. I don't remember the story. This is
It's
why.
like
This
a.
is why you shouldn't. This is why you shouldn't. This is why you. This is why this reading shit was a bad idea. I can't even remember what you said to me 30 minutes ago.
Well, to be fair, I didn't explain it very well. It's like I don't even know what you'd call it. It's just um it's like an error code like something's something's corrupted in the hard drive and it's not working. What is that meme? What?
I. It's from Makako when we
Oh,
were watching fucking Spider-Man when
uh,
Moon was a fucking cunt.
did they make that in that server? Did they make the meme in the server? No, right? Where's it from?
Yeah, I made it myself.
Oh, okay,
I think I made it myself.
okay.
Uh,
That's not bad.
like no, I think creative use. I don't know if it was a read or creative username, but but someone pointed at the part where Spider-Man. Someone wanted an image of Spider-Man, Spider-Man suit turning into the Venom symbiote.
Hmm.
It's called a symbiote.
Yeah.
But with the caption "White Zoomers when they find their dad's Tupac CD."
Yeah.
White kids when they find their dad's Tupac CP. CD.
CD. CD.
Compact pornography.
Yeah,
Child this.
that's what it looks like. Okay. Okay, we're ready to just to just start now. Okay. Um, this is the what is it? This is the book from the Wikipedia page for bees, because in the book, um, the author Beatrix Potter is really good at drawing insects and wildlife. Because she did it for fun at a young age. So this is the bees that were featured in the Wikipedia page for bees, and that's why I decided to read the book.
Yeah, I should have known by the minute that by the minute that a bumblebee appeared on the Wikipedia description of the plot. Uh, I should have known that this was related to the Beast article, but I just fucking didn't. I just didn't.
It's all right. I mean, you don't really. It's not really an important detail. Um, but yeah, I think these are all of the characters. This right here is an illustration of all the characters that are gonna come in the book. We have the frog guy. I think these are mice. A goose, lady goose, a gander. That's what they call it. A cat, bunnies, and an owl. It's very cute illustrations. That's it. Oh yeah. Hold on a second. I'm going to.
Look at what I'm posting on VC.
All right.
Not the chat, just Alan. Chat doesn't have to see this. This is this is what Lewis posted. Fucking the
I mean, it's a
fucking
compliment, isn't it? Saying you're a good artist.
sin of an image. It's Lewis posting an image.
Are they trying to get you on something? Is this they're trying to say that you like feet? Is that it?
That
Hey, all I'm saying is that you
what,
could just.
all I'm saying is that feet. All I'm saying is that I have a fucking standard, and I draw a line at feet. I draw the fucking line at feet.
Okay. Yeah. No, that project. That's completely reasonable. Okay.
Like I have a thing for so many things. Feet is not like feet is not fucking one of them.
Okay. Okay, so here we have The Tale of Mrs. Tittermouse by Beatrix Potter. After this is the thing is that Beatrix Potter, like her first book, like the reason she became a children's author is because of this book, The Tale of Peter Rabbit, which became extremely popular and allowed her to become a full-time book author, cartoonist, drawing person. And then we have some bees.
Oh fuck that the Ray cunt, the Ray cunt, the Ray simp appeared.
All right, perfect. Let's just get
I
on.
just said
Let's just get on with the book.
you're not gonna get any sort of ad revenue from this. I just said cunt twice, 3 times, counting the time I just said it right now.
Well, to be fair, I believe the time we're gonna be monetized is probably within the next 10 years, maybe. Okay. Oh yeah. You want to see the book? Here. That's the book. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
No, it's not. It's not the book. The book is fine.
Okay. Uh, Once upon a time, there was a wood. Is a wood mouse a thing? Wood mouse. Huh. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a wood mouse, and her name was Mrs. Tittlemouse. She lived in a bank under a hedge. A hedge is like a grass thing. Such a funny house. There were yards and sandy passages leading to
I read
storerooms.
that as such a funny cost.
House? House. Such a funny house. There were yards and yards of sandy passages leading to storerooms and nut cellars and seed cellars, all amongst the roots of the hedge. And then we have an illustration. She looks like a cupcake. She looks like a cupcake with a mouse head. Um, there was a kitchen, a parlor, a pantry, and a larder. Also, there was Mrs. Tittlemouse's bedroom, where she slept in a little red box. And then we have another illustration.
Oh fuck, we're already a fifth in?
It's a short book.
Oh, how many? You said it was only like 60
68 pages. It's showing 63 right now.
pages, which is like 34 uh pages of text.
It's a short.
I
It's a
completely forget every time. I completely forget that like these are uh these are these are one page of text, one page of illustration.
yeah. It's like it might seem like not a lot. Like on the part of the author, it might not seem like a lot of work is being done. But these illustrations are really nice, and they probably took a bit of time. Um, but continuing, Mrs. Tittlemouse was a most terribly tidy, particular little mouse, always sweeping and dusting the soft, sandy floors. Sometimes a beetle lost its way in the passages. Shush, shush, little dirty feet. Oh,
Oh,
oh, said Mrs. Tittlemouse, chattering her dustpan.
that's Doc.
And then you see, like, I think
That's
this.
entitled Doc from from Tim server.
Oh, I think, um, Mrs. Tittlemouse is like. I think that's like, what is that? What does that look like to you? Oh wait, never mind. That's like a brush. I'm seeing it now. And that's a ladybug. And one day, a little old woman ran up and down in a in a red spotty cloak. Your house is on fire, Mother Ladybird. Fly away home to your children. Hmm. Another day. Oh, I guess this is just like her adventures, well, tales. Yeah, her basically her interacting with various forms of wildlife. Another day, a big fat spider came in to shelter from the rain. Beg pardon, is this not Mrs. Muffet's? Go away, you bold bad spider, leaving ends of cobwebs all over my nice clean house. She bundled the spider. She bundled the spider out at a window. He let himself down the hedge with a long, thin bit of string. Hmm. I wonder how big the book actually is. I don't know. Project is muted. I'll just continue on. Mrs. Tittlemouse Mrs. Tittlemouse went on her way to a distant storeroom to fetch cherry stones and thistledown seed for dinner. All along the passage she sniffed and looked at the floor. I smell a smell of honey. It is the cow's lips outside. Cow's lips? In the hedge? I am sure I can see the marks of little dirty feet. Yes, she needs to keep things. She needs to keep things tidy. Suddenly, suddenly round a corner, she met Babbity Bumble. Ziz biz Ziz biz biz, said the bumblebee. Um, the I okay, because bees don't say biz 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 with their mouths. They do that with their wings. So it's not like it's saying biz biz. It's making the noise biz biz with its wings, right? I mean, it's like I think at that if I say something like that at that point, I'm nitpicking a children's book, which is probably not a good idea. In terms of reading a child's book, which is what I'm doing. Let's see. Mrs. Tittlemouse looked at her severely. She wished that she had a broom. Good day, Babbity Bumble. I should be glad to buy some beeswax, but what are you doing here? Why do you always come in at the window and say, "Ziz biz biz"? Mrs. Tittlemouse began to get very cross. Ah, that's a word. I'm guessing that means upset. I don't believe I'll be able to find a definition for that. Annoyed. Adjective British. Okay. Okay. That's a British word. Ziz whiz whiz, replied Batty Bumble, in a peevish squeak. She slided down a passage and disappeared into a storeroom which had been used for acorns. Mrs. Tittlemouse had eaten the acorns before Christmas. The storeroom ought to have been empty, but it was full of untidy dry moss. Mrs. Tittlemouse began to pull out the moss. 3 or 4 other bees put their heads out and buzzed fiercely. I'm not in the habit of letting lodgings. So basically, lodgings, like, she's not in the habit of letting people live in her house, I guess. I guess that's what that means. This is an intrusion, said Mrs. Tittlemouse. I will have them turned out. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder who will help me. Biz, whiz, whiz.
Your internet fucking sucks.
My
It
internet?
cuts out every 5 seconds.
Me? The internet that I'm using? I mean.
Oh fuck! I think it's like the fuck. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like the software. I think it's the desktop version of fucking Discord. Hold.
Okay, project. Seems like project is having some difficulties. I hope that he's not talking about what's happening on my end, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I guess I'll wait. The illustrations are nice. I will not have Mr. Jackson. He never wipes his feet. Yes. I can see it now. A tiny mouse living in a cottage who wants to keep things clean, and that's it. Well, it's not really a cottage. It's like a house. A house under. It's inside the roots. Sandy passages. It's underground. It's like a den. Hey.
Mañana, Mati. Now I'm doing fine.
Everything good? All right.
Now I'm doing fine.
Okay. Continuing. Mrs. Tittlemouse decided to leave the bees till after dinner. Okay, she's tired. When she got back to the parlor, she heard someone coughing in a fat voice, and there sat Mr. Jackson himself. He was sitting all over a small rocking chair. He was sitting all over a small rocking chair, twiddling his thumbs and smiling, with his feet on the fender. He lived in a drain below the hedge, in a very dirty, wet ditch. How do you do, Mr. Jackson? Dearie me, what have... Mom? Yes? Okay. Okay. Project. Okay, I'm back.
Wait.
I'm back.
Right.
Okay. Let us resume the story, the tale of Mrs. Tittermouse. Thank you, thank you, Mrs. Tittlemouse. I'll sit a while and dry myself, said Mr. Jackson. He sat and smiled, and the water dripped from his coat tails. Mrs. Tittermouse went round with a mop. Yes. uh, that's a nice illustration. He sat he sat a while. He sat such a while that he had to be asked if he would take some dinner. First, she offered him cherry stones, which is seeds, cherry seeds. Oh, okay, cherry stones. Thank you, Mrs. Tittlemouse. No teeth, no teeth, no teeth," said Mr. Jackson.
What the fuck does that even mean?
No teeth, as in like he's like laughing. I was like, oh, thank you. No teeth, no teeth. Like that's what he means. Or are you asking? Are you asking that of something else?
I'm asking that sincerely. I'm
Oh,
not trying to be a dick here.
no, I mean like you're talking about the book, right?
Yeah,
Okay. He
that's
opened
what
his.
I'm looking at.
Okay, okay. He opened his mouth most unnecessarily wide. He certainly had not a tooth in his head. Then she offered him thistledown. Flowers, I guess. Oh, thistledown. Because there's like feather down, right? Like down, like the feather material. So I guess thistledown is like flower products from flowers, from thistle branches. I don't know. Seed. Thistledown seed. Tiddly widdly. Pouf, 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 said Mr. Jackson. He blew the
Oh,
thistle.
it's pow pow puff.
Pouf, pouf, puff. Okay. Uh, said Mr. Jackson. He blew the thistle down all over the room. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mrs. Tittlemouse. Now, what I really, really should like would be a little dish of honey. Now, I read the wiki. Um, it said that Miss Beatrix Potter's Beatrix Potter's what is it? Beatrix Potter's characterization of the frog being able to smell honey is accurate to nature. That's what it said. So apparently frogs smell honey. They're able to smell it. If you didn't know, I guess. I guess now you know if you didn't know. I am afraid I have not got any, Mr. Jackson, said Mrs. Tittlemouse. Tiddly widdly widdly, Mrs. Tittlemouse, said this smiling Mr. Jackson. I can smell it. That is why I came to call. Mr. Jackson rose ponderously from the table and began to look into the cupboards. Mrs.
This is the
Tittlemouse.
image that I looked at when I looked at this book's Wikipedia article.
What image? What? Mrs. Tittlemouse followed him with a dishcloth to wipe his large wet footmarks off the parlor floor. Okay. Oh, that as in like this is the image that you first saw? This one? On page 39? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. When he had convinced himself that there was no honey in the cupboards, he began to walk down the passage. Indeed, indeed, you will stick fast, Mr. Jackson. Tiddly widdly widdly, Mrs. Tittlemouse. First he squeezed into the pantry. Tiddly widdly widdly, no honey? No honey, Mrs. Tittlemouse. They were creepy crawly people hiding in the plate rack. Two of them got away, but the littlest one he caught. Okay. Oh, the bugs, cockroaches. Then he squeezed into the larder. Mrs. Butterfly was tasting sugar, but she flew away out of the window. Tiddly widdly widdly, Mrs. Tittlemouse, you seem to have plenty of visitors. And without any invitation, said Mrs. Thomasania Tittlemouse. Okay. Thomasania. They went along the sandy passage. Tiddly widdly, buzz buzz whiz, buzz whiz whiz. He met Babbity round a corner, and snapped her up and put her down again. I do not like bumblebees. They are all over bristles, said Mr. Jackson, wiping his mouth with his coat sleeve. Snapped her up and put her out again. I'm guessing he like chomped the bee and spit the bee out. Get out, you nasty old toad, shrieked Babby. Oh, this is the first word that the bee is actually saying. I shall go distracted, scoundreled Mrs. Tittlemouse. She shut herself up in the nut cellar, while Mr. Jackson pulled out the bee nest. He seemed to have no objection to stings. When Mrs. Tittlemouse ventured to come out, everybody had gone away. But the untidiness was something dreadful. Never did I ever see such a mess. Smears of honey and moss, and thistledown, and marks of big and little dirty feet all over my neat, clean house. She gathered up the moss and the remains of the beeswax. Then she went out and fetched some twigs to partly close the front door. I will make it too small for Mr. Jackson. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She fetched soft soap and flannel and a new scrubbing brush for the storm room. But she was too tired to do any more. First she fell asleep in her chair, and then she went to bed. Will it ever be tidy again? Said poor Mrs. Tittlemouse. And this is the illustration that I used for the thumbnail. This one. Page 55. Next morning, she got up very early and began spring cleaning, which lasted for a fortnight. Odd word. Odd, peculiar word, isn't it, Project?
I have longed for you to say something like that, which I like to reply with.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. She swept and scrubbed.
I'm being ironic.
I know you're being ironic. She swept and scrubbed and dusted.
Scrubbed and scrubbed. I don't even have foreskin. How can I get dick cheese?
Why is that? Why is that one funny? Why is that funny to you? But when I say Fortnite, it's completely abhorrent and unfunny.
I don't say it's abhorrent. I'm.
Okay, maybe I went too far with my wording. I think
I'm putting like a mass of laugh tracks to make you happy.
Yeah, I guess it does make me happy. But yes, I think I went too far with my wording.
Not even pushing it.
What do you mean pushing it?
The button, the app, the laugh track app button.
You need to get a new laugh track then.
I just got this, and it's fucking funny. The normal one only lasts like a single second, but if you press it enough times, it's gonna last for a full minute.
Okay. She swept and scrubbed and dusted, and she rubbed up the furniture with beeswax, and polished her little tin spoons. Oh, more mice. when it was all beautifully neat and clean. She gave a party to 5 other little mice without Mr. Jackson. He smelt the party and came up the bank, but he could not squeeze at the door. Yes, she planned for this. So they handed him out. So they handed him acorn cupfuls of honeydew, through the window, and he was not at all offended. Okay. Um, Mr. Jackson seems like a pretty chill dude. He sat outside the sun and said, "Tiddly widdly widdly, your very good health, Mrs. Tittlemouse." Hmm, that's it. It's the book.
That's a book. I didn't think we read it for like more than 20 minutes.
36 it says. And then I took
I think we read it for like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Uh,
We didn't.
that's from the start of the stream. I think we started reading 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, but that's
25 to 30 minutes ago.
that's the book. That's the book. What did you think? Let's do
I think it was
do a little.
pretty nice book.
Yeah, it was a nice book. What is it? Yeah.
It was written just before the. It was written just before the. It's one of the oldest things we have read here, right?
I
The
believe so.
the Princess one. Princess one is from like the 1940s, but it was. I guess it was released 30 years ago. Slaughterhouse 5, I think it's from could be from the 80s.
The 100 Dress is 1944. Slaughterhouse 5.
Then we have Green Eggs and Ham, which do I need to say that they're from the 60s? This is from before the World War One, which, mind you, which I should probably know. There's not a single World War One veteran alive right now.
Yeah, I guess.
That you did you already know that?
I mean, I would assume, I would assume so. But I don't know that for sure.
Something a little crazier. You would think that there is, but there are no living people that survived the Hindenburg disaster, even though it's relatively more recent, like 20 years more recent.
Yeah, this book is from 1910, if you can imagine that. So yeah, it's pretty old. I guess I learned what a cross is. Cross. Do you know what cross means, Project? If you look up cross in Google, you'll find it. It says adjective British annoyed.
It's like you finally. It's like you finally put that off your bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could.
She
Um,
wrote. She also wrote Peter Rabbit.
you're looking at
Yes.
the author right now.
The uh, the author is even a word.
No,
The author.
she does.
Authoress.
I mean, I'm looking at the illustration of the cover, and she does look like a cupcake with a mouse head. I have to say that.
Merriam-Webster has a definition for authoress.
Really. Okay. But I will say that the likeness to a cupcake doesn't make the illustration any less pleasant.
It seems to be like a really old word that no one uses anymore.
Hmm. Okay.
No, I don't know how I don't know like that much, but it does say what old fashioned. It's like from the 15th century. So she wasn't even born when this was being used. This is from like the medieval times or the Renaissance.
Hmm. Okay. I guess every word has its time then. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. End it here. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the stream.